How about now? Can you hear me now? Slash, how does it sound now? Does it sound good? Is because it was still trying to be on my old microphone and now it's on the new one. It sounds like it looks like it's coming through, at least on where I can see the levels. So if you can't hear me, I don't know what else I can do. Yeah, I was I was silenced. I was not silent. I was being silenced. Okay. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Quiet. Oh, okay. I'm not hmm. Is your let me just see. Cuz it says it's at like 78 on the thing. This is my brand new microphone, as I said in the description. Sunny Dionysus, and my mouth never wants to say it. Sunny, though, my friend Sunny sent me a new microphone, and it's beautiful. And I feel like it is, oh, it is turning down a little bit. Um, hmm. Or maybe it's not. But I think it's much more securely plugged in than the other one was, because this is like a different cord at the bottom. So I'm hoping that it won't automatically unplug me if my desk jostles a little bit. But okay. All right. Hopefully it's not still too tinny. But that is what I got. I could there's like a gain switch I could probably mess with, but I don't really know. I think enough people are saying you can hear me. Okay, perfect. All right. Alexa and Justin interfered to silence you for a bit. Right, right. Okay. So, this is a video that is it's such a small video that I didn't even want to link to it in my description because like that would have felt like brigading. However, I need more people to have seen this and to know about it because it's very funny and very ridiculous. So I have pulled up a video that it currently has 38 views. So again, why I didn't feel like linking to it. So okay. Oh, there might be some auto adjust stuff going on. Let me actually. Do I have that? Okay. Okay, so there was something on. There was a voice focus thing on. I just turned that off. Maybe that will help with the audio. Maybe it won't. I hope it helped though. I do agree. I probably just need to dial it in for like a video. Um, Big Alexa is after me. Hi, Chris. Hunger Games and Nuance Corner. I'm so sad. Amazing. Yes, Kate. 5 of those views are from me. Right. I have watched this at least twice. I sent it to Kate. I I I thought I was saying about this in the chat before I started streaming. I almost posted about this on Blue Sky, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for a stream because it's so funny. So let me see here. All right. My audio was also down like just a tiny little bit. I turned it a little bit up. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but your face randomly was in a Khadijah video, and I was like, "Hey, I know her." Oh, interesting. I had no idea that I was referenced in a Khadijah video. That's very interesting. Do you know which one it was by chance? Thank you for letting me know. Um, oh, this is not. It's not going. Oh, that's not it. Where is? I had it. Sorry. There it is. Okay. Um, as you can see, it's Hunger Games conspiracy. And then I think it's, yeah, so she has Hunger Games changes rewrite the Capitol, ... check. Hashtag Hunger Games, hashtag Suzanne Collins, hashtag Sunrise on the Reaping. 38 views, 1 like, 9 days ago. I don't know why this necessarily popped out on I don't know why, like, sorry. I don't know why this popped up on my homepage other than just like it's just they know that I love the Hunger Games. So this is just some lady. Oh, it's the recent one about women's wrongs. I didn't see your face, but I heard them talking about the video you did with Kat. Is it the one with Taylor? The new one about how women are turned right wing. I think it was just because you were one of the ones siding with Amber and not drawn into the main YouTube thing of bashing Amber and siding Johnny. Very interesting. Thank you for letting me know. That's actually very exciting. I did see that thumbnail. See that thumbnail as like she sold seashells. Why did I set myself up to have to say something difficult to say that I said something difficult? But anyway, I saw that thumbnail, but I haven't watched it yet because I've been watching this. This Hunger Games conspiracy from Jolene Fine. And I'm gonna turn on the captioning and we're gonna watch it together.
Hold on to your original Hunger Games books, kids, because Suzanne Collins is rewriting the Capitol. If you haven't started Sunrise and the Reaping, then you might not know what I'm talking about, but you probably could tell from the last book. But let's make one thing clear. This is not anti-Suzanne Collins or anti-Hunger Games, because I love Suzanne Collins' writing. This is really a critique on how when society changes, the author changes. And it's just very noticeable in this series. So let's rewind.
And yes, this is a 7-minute long vertical video, which is why I'm not in my attic, because I felt like that would have been a lot of wasted space. But I'm gonna let me I'll adjust how much space I'm taking up. But that's why I'm down here today. Because she clearly recorded this just like on her phone, which whatever, like I've recorded many videos on my phone before I got the good webcam from my best friend. But yeah. Yeah, YouTube does this often. It loves to show me videos with like 7 views. I have yet to find one with very few views where I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like sometimes it'll give me somebody at like a couple of 100 views, but not normally. Be rambling, maybe I shouldn't watch this. I'm only a few chapters into the new book. If you're a few chapters in, you're already past the point that she's complaining about. She's complaining, basically, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. She's complaining about Hamish being an ally, which happens very, very early on in the book. So I'm sorry if that was a spoiler that you had already avoided. That was like, I don't feel like that's too bad of a spoiler. But that's what her critique is. She's angry that Hamish is an ally. The change I noticed in this book was it felt more mature than previous Hunger Games novels. I thought so too. I thought it did. I think I felt like she knew that people like me who read as a teenager were coming back and reading it again as an adult. And I also, like, I don't necessarily feel like, as a teenager, if I had read the original trilogy and then I read this, that I would be, like, lost, or I would be like, wow, this is really adult, or this is way too adult for me. Like, I feel like it's earned by the time you've read the original trilogy, but, like, I felt like it's certainly a more mature story for, like, an audience who is, like, a little bit more developed, maybe, than she had exactly in mind when she wrote the first trilogy. But not in the way that Jolene is getting at here. I love seeing things from small creators, but the stuff YouTube shows me with super low views usually is guaranteed to make me mad. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad that Hamish being an ally isn't one that you're avoiding. I just never click them because I'm so scared they will be like turbo awful. You're so brave for even clicking this. I really, really wanted to know what she thought was being rewritten. And again, this is a 7 minute long video. She kind of like ambles a little bit, but we will watch it together.
Capital, for all intents and purposes, was villainized homosexuality.
What? For what intents and purposes? Where in the text? Like, did you notice how confidently she says that? She says society changes, like the author changes because society changes, and in the original text, for all intents and purposes, the capital was villainized homosexuality. Where? Literally where? Like the like Caesar Flickerman wears makeup? That's kind of the only thing I can think of, is that like the men in the capital are described as like a bit like effeminate. Um I she's so confident. She's so confident, and it gets worse about how confident she is about this. But like, what?
Series. So let's rewind. The capital, for all intents and purposes, was villainized homosexuality. No one cared because it came out before cancel culture. And it contained so much.
I forgot about no one cared because it came out before cancel culture. Canceling Suzanne Collins for villainizing homosexuality in the Capitol. There's no gay people in the Capitol, by the way. Like, I mean, my understanding is that there's some gay people in the Capitol in Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But in the original trilogy, there are not any gay people. Right, pageantry isn't automatically gay culture. Like, it's in fact, like, it's not described in gay. My time reading Hunger Games fanfiction has taught me that there was no overt stance in queer rights on the original trilogy. If anything, there's that one paragraph on how the districts are allowed to marry freely, and that's one of their only freedoms. Okay, so Katniss does say that. Katniss says the one freedom that we have is to, like, marry who we want or not marry at all. But also in Sunrise on the Reaping, Haymitch says that homosexuality is outlawed and criminalized. So it's interesting to me because I think it makes more sense for the districts to be homophobic. So like, I'm not mad at Suzanne for writing that in on Sunrise on the Reaping. Like, I genuinely think that makes more sense. But I also think that it's not even that Katniss was saying like, oh, we have queer rights. I think it was Katniss saying like, we have the right to not get married and to stay single. And that she's like such a sheltered little straight girl who doesn't know any gay people and doesn't know that a better world is possible. So it doesn't even occur to her to be like, and we don't have gay marriage rights because she doesn't know any gay people. Like, I know that's like kind of silly. Maybe Suzanne did mean it differently when she originally wrote it, but like, that's been my take, is that like, it is most likely that that they were always homophobic, and that Katniss meant like we at least have the freedom to not need to be forced into marriage. And I also, just as a lesbian, I think that's cute that she wasn't even thinking about it. Like, honestly, girl, you had bigger issues right now. It's fine. I'm confused on how she could get rich people equals villainized homosexuals. Right. Pageantry is literally privilege on display, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always had canon homophobia in Pan Am, me too, yeah. Before cancel culture, the term PC has been around for decades at this point. The same ideas have been around, just using different words. Right. These books came out in, like, 2008 to 2011, I think? I don't know, but just, like, she's gonna keep going, and it continues to get wilder.
Violence that people disliked the violence and ignored everything else.
Hang on a minute.
What am I talking about? Homosexuality. No one cared because it came out before cancel culture. And it contained so much violence that people disliked the violence and ignored everything else. What am I talking about? The Capitol is full of transgenders, tattoos, free love.
Tag yourself. Transgenders, tattoos, free love.
furries, any element of LGBTQT plus community, plus a bunch of stereotypes of celebrities. I mean, it wasn't just about homosexuality. It was about whatever Suzanne.
Jolene, it wasn't about homosexuality at all, is the thing. It wasn't about homosexuality. Also, yeah, I do think the people who were saying they normally get like super right wing shit, like this is right wing shit. So like YouTube is pushing me conservative shit.
I mean, it wasn't just about homosexuality. It was about whatever Suzanne Collins thought was extreme when she wrote the book, which was probably over 20 years ago. And clearly her ideas of this have changed. Essentially, you had the capital waging war on traditional values of the district.
What? Like literally, this is where I was watching it, and I kept having to pause it because I just like could not believe what she was saying. And I'll when we get to the point where I sent it to Kate, I will point that out because I did get a little bit further on my own. But like, what? The capital waging war on the traditional values of the districts. That's not what the books were about, actually. That's not what was happening there. There's not, no.
I say this because everyone in the district was painted as wholesome and just trying to get by in life. Now, your first thing is you're going to say is, Jolene, that's not true. Finnick was bisexual.
That is not the first thing I was going to say. And this is where I was like, oh my god, I have to send this to Kate. She just said Finnick is bisexual. Which is like, I just, I wish. I wish. Like, that is not the first thing I was going to say. The first thing I was going to say is, what the fuck are you talking about? But like, okay, the confidence with which she says Finnick being bisexual. But like, I need to continue and show you.
And he was in the district. Now, your first thing is you're going to say is, Jolene, that's not true. Finnick was bisexual. And he was in the district. And my response to you is, that was in the movie. In the book, that actually never happened. What you do...
In the book, that actually never happened. It never happened in the movie either. It never happened in the movie. He revives him after he runs into the force field. He Bisexual is when you revive someone that is the same gender. Right. Like the EMS industry is in bisexual shambles. Like, what the fuck? Is she seriously headcanoning queer characters and getting mad about it? Kate, my husband watched this while I was in another room and I heard him yell bisexual Finnick. I sent it to Kate and we both like talked about it and they were like, I'm gonna send it to my husband, and I was like, I need to know what your husband thinks about bisexual Finnick. And then Kate was like, oh, he said he doesn't have time for this right now. And then like hours later we were watching something, me and Kate were watching something, and then I like suddenly got the husband reaction specifically to bisexual Finnick. I thought it was so funny.
You see in the book is...
Okay, so she's explaining how she thinks he's bisexual.
Response to you is, that was in the movie. In the book, that actually never happened. What you do see in the book is Finnick trying to save Peta's life and giving him CPR. He didn't actually kiss Peta or anything. So Suzanne writes these 3 books, and what happens is the people that are in charge of the book industry have changed hands, as well as her finding that overnight her audience, the young adult market, has completely changed. So, quick refresher. The book industry is no longer conservative. It's maintained by the liberals. And then we have the teens, no longer conservative, but a growing number of LGBTQ community growing in the...
She said it normal that time. The first time she tried to say it, she like intentionally made it way more complicated than it has to be. But then this time, while she's making a point about how people like me grew up and ended up being lesbians, you know. CPR stands for cisgender pansexual romance. He didn't try to kiss Pina. How the fuck does she think people perform CPR? The notoriously conservative publishing industry, it's owned by the liberals now. Colleen Hoover would be so fucking popular if the book industry was run by liberals. Wouldn't be so fucking popular. Yeah, run by the liberals. I think there are some parentheses around liberals there. 2 bros chilling in the arena crashing into the force field because they're not gay. The whole Finnick thing is so funny because when Katniss watched Finnick revive Peta, at first she thought he was kissing him, and she was like, oh, slay, I guess, and then realized what's happening. Yes, so Katniss's exact line in the book is something like, I think it's, I'm taken aback by the sight of Finnick kissing Peta, which is very funny. Because she's just saying it as she's, like, panicking because Peta just fucking died. Like, he ran into the force field and he's dead. And also, like, it's a big fucking deal that Finnick is, like, reviving him. Like, I feel like that doesn't happen in the Hunger Games. Like, I mean, Katniss, like, helped nurse Peta back to health, but that's a very different thing than, like, restarting the heart of somebody who isn't even from your actual district. But anyway... Katniss in the book does in fact have like a little line where she's like, oh my god, he's kissing him, but she's not like homophobic about it or anything. But it makes it even funnier that this lady is like, that's not in the book. If anything, there is more reason that you would briefly think that Finnick kissed Peta in the book than in the movie. That's not it. Like, it's not like they make out in the movie. I want to watch that movie, I guess. Like, I don't really want to, but I would rather watch it than the one we got.
Teen community. But she's written a book that literally has made this community villainized. So, what do you...
Where did she villainize the LGBTQ community? Where? Literally has made this community villainized.
Another thing that happened is now the movies have come out, and she has spent a lot of time with the very people that she has villainized. So it's time for some course correction. And the first thing that we're going to do, in order for you to be allowed to sell a book, Suzanne, is to make your statement clear that you were never against these people to begin with. And how do you do that? Well, in Sunrise and the Reaping, you will make the character make a blatant statement that the Capitol is actually against gay people. So how does this come up in Sunrise and the Reaping? And this is not a spoiler, because it does not add to the plot.
I love, and this is not a spoiler, because it does not add to the plot. I'm gonna start using that, unfortunately. It's giving Rue was white in the books. No kidding. Especially when we all know what CPR is and what it looks like, right? Release the Pinnacut. Didn't she also humanize Katniss's prep team and Effie? Yes. Yeah. No, the prep team was very much humanized. Like, that was a big thing. Gay people in the Capitol are bad, but bisexuals stay winning. Sorry, guys. She says Suzanne needs to do course correction, but she's doing course projection. This is not a spoiler because it does not add to the plot. I also don't think it technically counts as a spoiler, but also I think that the part in Sunrise on the Reaping where Haymitch is where he makes it clear that he's an ally, I think it's so fucking cute. He's like complaining about his girlfriend's uncle not liking him, and he's like, I wish that they were supportive of our love, and I told my girlfriend that they just don't know what love is, and he just doesn't believe in love. And that's when she told me that he's actually been with the fellow who repairs windows for a couple decades now, but they have to keep it quiet. And Haymitch like is explaining how it's criminalized and you can lose your job and you can get punished for it. But he specifically pauses to be like, and of course I'm supportive of his love. I just wish he supported mine. And it's so fucking funny. I love this little 16-year-old boy. He just like Katniss, like it's just like a silly, dumb, straight person. It's cute. It's really cute. Diversity win. This cranky old musician is gay.
Random insert to try to course correct her the way that she has created the Capitol. Because it wasn't enough that the Capitol took their children and sent them to fight each other to the death, we actually have to figure out a new way to make the villains feel more relatable to the modern growing gay community. They are now against homosexuality. Homosexuality has to be kept in secret. It does? What? In secret.
How many times do you think she did that to make sure that she got it like exactly right and she tossed her hair exactly the right way? Also, like, literally, that makes sense. It makes more sense for homosexuality. Like, I feel like so clinical saying that word, but like, it makes more sense for it to be illegal to be gay than it does for it to be fine. It genuinely just makes more sense. And also, like, gay growing community, yeah, like, what does that mean? Yeah, he really is like, man, I support you, why can't you support me? It gives me this air of innocence we don't see in adult him. Yes, I love him. I love Haymitch so much. Like, I was not expecting him to be such a sweet little boy, and he's very sweet. Okay, so let's see her head shake again.
They are now against homosexuality. Homosexuality has to be kept in secret. It does? What? In what capital? Certainly not in the Hunger Games capital. Not the capital that you wrote in.
Also, the fact that she doesn't know Panem, the Hunger Games capital.
Books 1, 2, and 3. Though I did notice that the references to LGBTQ stereotypes lessened. It was very prevalent in book 1. It was in book 2.
Where? I am being so serious right now. Where? Where are there very present gay people in book 1 and 2? Where are they? Because on the one hand, like, you could do like a little tin hat read of Madge and Katniss. Like, Madge has a little crush on Katniss, that's fine. It's not really that present though. And then otherwise you don't have any gay representation until fucking Mockingjay, when Deli Cartwright is like, Katniss Everdeen is so amazing. I never dreamed she'd notice me. Those are the only gay people you have in the original trilogy. I have read it so many times. I would know. I would know if there were more gay people. Those are all the gay people. Right. 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 Santa likes to design clothes, so he must be gay. Yes. She thinks gay is when people wear colors, I guess. Yeah, if they let people be gay in the districts, I'm sure the capital would be worried they'd run out of children to sacrifice. Yes, it literally it is part of the like subjugation of the districts that they would need to produce more children, and so it does not make sense that it would be like a fine and free and normal option to be gay. And like you could have a conversation about like are there different rules in the capital compared to the districts, or even like do outlying districts have different rules than the districts that are closer to the capital? Like I don't know, because again I need to see what the descriptions are of the gay characters in the first in the first of the prequels in the President Snow book, because I'm pretty sure those are like some gay college students or something. But I don't I like I, it makes so much sense that you would not be allowed to be gay in the districts where you need to have babies to put in the child death pageant. Like, it makes sense. Hi, Trash! Repression of queerness in the labor class where it's permitted among the aristocracy. Aristocracy? Why did my mouth do that? The aristocracy is relatively common. But yeah, I think she just wants to call these people slurs for being effeminate. Yeah, yeah. She saw Stanley Tucci as Caesar Flickerman, and she thought some mean things. I think maybe she had a fever dream, woke up, and just started spewing her thoughts. She's so certain.
We get less of it, more focus on eccentric characters. I did not read the last one where about Snape, or not Snape, that was Harry Potter.
I forgot she called him Snape. She remembers so little that she calls him Snape, but she thinks that she remembers enough that she's having like a conspiracy about there being changes made. She called him Snape. She called President Snow Snape. President Snape. Yeah, Katniss thinks immediately that marriage equals babies. Like, she isn't even afforded the idea of gayness. It's not presented as an option. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I put money on the fact that she has the term personal Mandela effect when she starts getting pushed back about this insane rambling. Yes, I agree. Why did she say eccentric like a slur? She really did. I think she was remembering Snake from the title. That's generous. That makes sense. Yeah. I think she might be having a stroke. No way she read the actual books. She has them. She at least owns them. And she thinks that's what's so wild about this too. It's like she is making this statement by saying that like they are making changes and they are retconning it because she has such a good memory of all of this explicit gay stuff in the original trilogy that just simply does not exist.
Yeah, Snake? Dang it. Snow. Snow. I don't know why I forgot that. They're just so close. Snape, Snow. I watched the movie. So why am I even pointing this out?
I watched the movie.
It just hit me odd that no one's talking about it. How everyone is so amazed and like thrilled that Haymitch is like having this huge like, you know, support movement when...
What does that mean? What does it mean that he's... Everyone's so thrilled that Haymitch is having this big support movement. Is that true? Is that... talking about this book, everyone is so thrilled that he has this huge support movement. What are they gonna do? Like, how are they gonna support him? It's over. Girl, it's over. It's done. His story happened. Okay. I think maybe you're right in chat where she's okay. So I thought she was saying that she thinks that people need to talk about it because just in general, instead of disconnected. Oh, it says reconnection successful. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry if it disconnected for a second. I thought she was saying that she's like that people are happy that Haymitch is getting support, but I think you're right. Maybe she's saying people are happy that Haymitch is giving support, but I can't tell. But it's so fucking funny. It's so fucking funny to me. Sunrise on the Pride Parade. Rainbow on the Reaping. Sunrise in the Pride Parade is really, really good. This is the kind of woman who would argue about The Great Gatsby not having a homoerotic moment that is so clearly there because she's too busy trying to make two puzzle pieces fit together that don't fit. Yeah, I would love to try to explain to this woman how much gay shit is in The Great Gatsby. I don't think she would get that. Has Suzanne ever made a stance on gay people? Have we answered that question yet? If anybody knows more about this than me, please let me know. I didn't think so because I think that she pretty much keeps her mouth shut. Which, like, I've been saying... Sorry, I got a cough. I've been saying ever since J.K. Rowling went mask off that, like, I'm probably glad that I don't know very much about how Suzanne Collins feels about much of anything other than, like, I feel I can glean her feelings about, like, war. Like, I feel like she's told me enough of that. So I don't think she's made, like, statements, but I also kind of think her making Haymitch say, and of course I'm an ally and I support Tam's gay love. I kind of think that is her doing a little bit of, like, author insert of, like, and also it is important to me that you know that I'm not homophobic. Which I could be wrong about. But especially, you know, this person wants to pretend that there's, like, any reason to believe that the body modifications and stuff in the book are, like, supposed to be, like, a trans allegory, and I don't think that there's actually any evidence for that. I think it's fine. Hi, Sad Fox! We're watching somebody who has a conspiracy theory about the Hunger Games making Suzanne make the prequels gay. It has 38 views. I'm maybe being a little bit mean to live stream it. But also it's really funny.
You aren't addressing why. Like, what is the actual motivation of the author behind that statement? And why do I say hold on to your books? It's definitely not because I ever liked the way that the Capitol was written. Or the districts, for that matter. The prose in those books are amazing.
Or the districts, for that matter. What does that mean, Jolene?
That's why I loved the books. But face it, the Capitol and the districts were very black and white. It was good versus evil, and there was no in between. There was no nuance. There was no, like, really exploring that parts.
As somebody has already pointed out, there was, like, lots of nuance, actually, in the Capitol Citizens. Like, as was evidenced by Katniss becoming very fond of her prep team. There was lots of nuance there. Effie Trinket was a pretty nuanced fascist, but, like, especially the prep team, Cinna, like, The Hunger Games is not the series that doesn't have any nuance. Like, that is a wild statement. Girl, if you don't like the books, why are you making a whole video about it while barely saying anything? Right. And she's so confident that she has memorized this other version of it. We're almost through.
Society and government can, have, like, nuanced kind of things. So good for her for finally including that the people in the Capitol, some of them don't like what's going on, and that some of the people in the districts just aren't good people either. It makes it feel more real. All I'm saying about the books and holding on to them is that editions come out, and it would not be unlikely in this day and age that all of those references got erased and no longer existed in the future. So if you have one of those older prints, it's going to probably be of more value because they're probably going to change it if they haven't already. This could be a collector's edition.
Find them. Find them. Find the exact references that you mean. Unless they already have changed it.
Probably be of more value because
I just accidentally went
going to change it.
But yeah, no, so I don't know why YouTube decided to show that to me. But they sure did, and I've been thinking about it for days now. Just the confidence, the incorrectness, it's wild. It's genuinely wild. This girl Wattpadded so close to the sun. Can you believe that nobody is addressing my misreading of the books? Have a good night, everybody. Okay. I hope that the audio isn't too bad. I think I'm probably gonna, I only really had that in mind, to watch that video because I just thought it was so funny and ridiculous. Katniss is so nuanced. I agree in the chat that, like, she is one of the most nuanced characters in anything ever. I love her. Yeah, the no nuance series would be the other one she mentioned earlier. The one with President Snape. But yeah, it is, it's like 11:21 p.m. It's just, it has been a little while since I've streamed, so I wanted to hang on. Bestie, will you ever make a Locked Tomb video? I am begging. Yes, absolutely I will. So I do actually, on my Patreon, I did like an hour-long, podcasty thing with my best friend, Kate, who's also been in the chat, and we talked about the Locked Tomb, but I absolutely 100% also want to make main channel content about it. I had been planning on rereading the Locked Tomb, and then I ended up getting, like, sucked into my Hunger Games hyperfixation instead with Sunrise on the Reaping, but I fucking love the Locked Tomb. I would love to talk about the Locked Tomb. Thanks for distracting me from my horrendous cough for a little while. Sleep well and congrats on 15K, you absolute legend. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope you feel better. I hope your cough goes away. Yeah, so I did, like, I have, like, that one episode that's, like, an hour, and then we were planning on, as I continue rereading the series, because Kate is, like, one book ahead of me right now, or, like, a book and a half, ahead of me right now, so I thought it would be fun to, like, talk about it and, like, be like, oh, I finished reading, like, this book while you're all the way ahead on Harrow, which I'm very excited to reread Harrow because I had no idea what the fuck was going on the first time. But I still need to read Gideon again in the first place, too. I love The Locked Tomb. I had been on, like, a really big audiobook kick before that. I was listening to a bunch of audiobooks, and I tried to listen to The Locked Tomb audiobook, and I could not get into it. And I was, like, I was really nervous, because usually, like, almost every single book that Kate tells me to read, I end up loving. And so Kate had been, like, going into Locked Tomb mode and telling me how much I would love Locked Tomb, telling me to read Locked Tomb, and then I tried to do the audiobook, and I, like, could not focus on it. I was very, like, scattered and all over the place, but I ended up being like, okay, I need to, like, actually just physically read this, probably. So I ended up grabbing a physical copy of it, and I read that shit so fast. All of the, each of the books, honestly, I think I think Gideon and Harrow both took me a little bit longer than Nona did, because I blew through Nona really fast too. But I read those books so much faster than I feel like I have been reading books in the last few years, honestly. Like and then again, when I got the new Hunger Games book, I also like I read that really really fast because I was just very engaged. But the Locked Tomb books they go really really fast. I think that they're like 3-day books for me maybe, but Nona was like a day and a night because I stayed up. Yeah, let me show you. I could show you. I could show you the cover. Um, so hi Jojo, you want to come over? She's going to come over. Hi. Yeah, I put treats out for you forever ago, and you didn't care. Um, Jojo's back here. Let me see her. I don't know if turning the light on helped. She's right there. That's a baby. Trying to not block her. Good job, baby. Wow. So this is the Locked Tomb. When we talk about the Locked Tomb, we are talking about Gideon the Ninth, Harrow the Ninth, and Nona the Ninth. And they are these amazing books. They're very like fantasy, and it's necromancers and sword fighters, and they're so good. They're just so good. Hi. What do you think? Like I said, I was very excited to reread these, and then I got shot right back into my Hunger Games phase. And I also just got this yesterday, which I have not. I read like a book, or I read like a couple of pages of it earlier, but then I ended up working on a new video that's coming out hopefully this week. So I ended up not reading very much of it today, but I'm planning on reading more of this next week. This is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the President Snow prequel that came out prior to Sunrise on the Reaping. Because I've read Sunrise on the Reaping, but not this. I have seen this movie. I liked the movie. I really liked the Biz Barkley video about the movie. But I haven't read this yet, and I feel like it's gonna take me a while. I thought about the audiobook. I saw Croissant said Ballad is def the slowest. For me, it was easier to listen to the audiobook and do other stuff than to sit down and read it. You know what's weird? I don't know if this is even gonna mean anything to like the majority of the people in the chat, but the voice for the audiobook for Ballad is Greg from Crazy Ex-Girlfriends. I think that's the weirdest fucking thing. I kind of do want to listen to it just because of that, but I knew that I wanted like a physical copy I could actually take notes in, which my best friend sent to me, which thank you. But I can't believe it's Greg Serrano from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It is, yeah. Oh, good night, Absinthe Angel. Rachel Cardwell. I don't know if I'm going to read Ballad because I'm just not interested in Snow. That's why I haven't read it either. Like I can't believe it's been out for 5 years and I haven't read it. And this is like the first time that I felt a desire to read it is when I was reading Sunrise on the Reaping, and I was like, man, there's a whole Hunger Games book I haven't even fucking read. That's crazy. And also like the part in Sunrise where Snow was being so like intimately fucking racist to Haymitch about his girlfriend, I was like, okay, maybe I need to read. So I am very interested in reading. I wish it was just in Lucy's point of view. But like I want the lore. I want the lore. I need to know. I didn't want to read it at the time because I didn't want to get that close, but like I will now. I did watch the Ballad movie. I actually really liked the Ballad movie. Pretty much. So the movie came out, and Kate works at a bookstore, so Kate read it as soon as it came out. Um, so I just had Kate tell me whether or not I should wait for the movie. And Kate was like, "Yeah, you could just probably wait for the movie, honestly." So I waited, because I was just like, it was fucking 2020. I did not want to be inside of a fascist's head. I'm not sure how much I even want to be inside of a fascist's head right now, but like, I'm still gonna read it. But yeah. Only way to make me be like, huh, I want to read Ballad was Ophi talking about Sunrise on the Reaping. Thank you. With the confirmation Katniss's Covey in Sunrise on the Reaping, it feels like essential reading now. That's where I'm at too. Yeah. So I do have plans though of like, I'm gonna take notes as I read it, because I think it would be fun, or like, if not, well, I do think it would be fun. I think it would be both fun and also useful, potentially, because I think a lot of people would love to know what's in that book but wouldn't want to read it, and trust me in specific. So I do think that it might be fun if I did a video that's like actually just what happens in the Snow prequel and talk about that. And then I also have an idea separately of like, I would like to do a video that's like, why are the Hunger Games prequels? Like, why are these coming out so far after the fact? What points are being made? Like, what is this doing? How is it building out the world of Panem? How much is it like reinforcing that thing that Suzanne Collins says about how Panem was a powder keg and Katniss is the spark? Like, I love everything that Sunrise on the Reaping did, and I had been hesitant to read Songbirds because I was afraid that Lucy was going to make Katniss feel less special. But I don't think she did, because I think the rest of Sunrise makes me feel very clear that like nothing is going to make Katniss less special, but also she makes everybody who came before her more special too, because they were all like in this grand aim together. I ended up working today I finished up a video specifically about just the interview scene in the Catching Fire movie, and how it's wrong, like how it gets everyone wrong. It gets Joanna Mason wrong, it gets Peeta wrong, it gets Katniss wrong. I'm hoping to put that one up later this week. I sent it off to the sponsor. Well, I have to send it off to the sponsor. It's not quite done yet. But I asked for sponsor approval because the other Hunger Games video did okay, and I didn't know if the first one would do okay, so I didn't put the sponsor in the first one. But I am supposed to have another video for Aura this month. So whenever they tell me that that's okay, that one will probably go up later, where I'm talking about how much I don't like the way that they did the interview scene and the baby bluff and everything. So I'm excited about that video. I loved making the epilogue one. I thought the epilogue one was so much fun to work on, and like reading the comments that are like even still coming in on the epilogue video is so fucking rewarding and satisfying. It's so good. Your epilogue video rewired my brain. Thank you. Yeah, I think that'd be a good video because Ballad/Sunrise work in a way that Fantastic Beasts didn't for Harry Potter. Sorry, trigger warning, Harry Potter. Yeah, I never actually read any of the Harry Potter books. This is silly, but the one reason why I didn't, above all others, like other than the fact that like I was not supposed to, I wasn't supposed to read it for much of my childhood because it was a religion thing and my family got very fundy on and off. But then also once they were kind of relaxed about it and I could have gotten away with reading it, I would get so fucking frustrated trying to read the way that J.K. Rowling wrote out Hagrid's dialogue, and it made me feel very mad. It makes me feel very angry because I don't fucking know what that guy is ever fucking saying, and that's not how you should write. It's bad. If you are making it that difficult for me to parse out what somebody is saying, you are doing a bad job of writing. And there's so much Hagrid in the first book. So I tried to read the first one, I never finished it, and then a couple years later, as a teenager, I had a friend who was really into it, so I read the first book, and I think I read part of the second book, or I still had the second book, and then my first girlfriend when I was a teenager, I started listening to the audiobooks for her because she was very, very into Harry Potter, and she was very like her two main things that she was very into. She was very into Harry Potter, and she was very into Hamilton. I could memorize all of Hamilton for her, but I was really struggling with getting into Harry Potter on her behalf. And then she broke up with me when I was on like the third book, and my first like coming around into being glad that we had broken up, I was just like, oh my god, I never have to finish Harry Potter. So then I never finished Harry Potter. I probably would have. If we would have dated for like another like 6 months to a year or something, maybe I would have finished reading Harry Potter for her. But that sure didn't happen, and now will never happen for anybody else. I've never seen anyone else voice that complaint before, but that annoyed me too. My mom read the first one to me and I liked it, but when I tried to read the second one, I just couldn't. Yeah, that's so real. Hamilton and Harry Potter as your two big fandoms is a doozy. I know. I wonder. I shouldn't even invite this because I don't really want to know. But, like, if she thinks of me, I'm sure she thinks of the Hunger Games and, like, the Mountain Goats, or maybe, like, AJJ or something. But I feel like those were my two big interests. Hi, Jojo. And, like, Shakespeare. We went to a lot of like Shakespeare in the Park plays. Hi, Jojo. You want to come say goodnight? You want to come here? Yeah. Jojo, come on over. Come on over, beautiful cats. Come on, baby. Hey. She's like thinking about coming over. You want to come here? I don't think she wants to. Hi, baby. Oh, okay. She loves to put her hand on my hand. Hi, baby. Come say goodnight. You don't care. You don't even care. You don't even care how everybody online loves you. It doesn't even bother you. No. Hi. Oh, look at those airplane ears. Wow. Wow, she's amazing. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out and for sitting here while I pet my cat. I was trying to see if she would come over here, but I don't think she wants to. You want to come over? Nope. Thank you so much for hanging out. I would love to stream again soon. I do want to stream more about the Hunger Games. I think that video about catching fire, losing my voice. I think that video about catching fire is going to come out later this week. And I'll see you all then. I might see you again before then if I stream again tomorrow. But thank you again for 15,000 subscribers. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you to Sunny for the new mic. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night. Thank you. Bye. Oh, how do I turn off my camera? I always forget. Jojo, say goodnight. No, you do not care.